You are about to spend 15,000, 30,000, maybe 60,000 rupees on a refrigerator, and it's going to sit in your kitchen for the next 10 to 15 years. That's not a small decision, right? And the truth is, there are so many options today that it's easy to get confused about what actually matters. Because beyond the specs, what really makes a difference is how the fridge fits into your daily use, your storage, your routine, your family's needs. So in this video, I'll keep things simple and practical. I'll walk you through what actually matters in daily use and help you choose a refrigerator that truly fits your home. Hi, I am Pooja and welcome to ClearBuy. I spend all my time buying and testing home appliances, TVs, soundbars, washing machines, air conditioners and yes, refrigerators too, to see how they perform in real life, not just on paper. So you can buy confidently without wasting your money. Everything I share here is from real testing and real experience. So the very first thing you need to figure out which type of fridge is actually right for you. Because honestly, this one decision alone decides your budget, your electricity bill, how much space it takes in your kitchen, basically everything. So let me quickly walk you through each type. Single door. This is your most basic, most affordable fridge. You get one door, a small freezer sitting inside at the top and the fridge section below. Capacity goes from about 50 liters to 250 liters. It runs on very little electricity, which is great. But here is the thing. You'll have to defrost the freezer manually every couple of weeks. And that freezer space, it's really small. So if you store a lot of frozen stuff, you'll feel the pinch. Best suited for 1 to 2 people like bachelors, students, couples. And price wise, you're looking at roughly 8,000 to 20,000 rupees. Now, if you have a family, double door is probably where you should be looking. This is what most Indian households go for, and for good reason. You get a separate freezer on the top, a much bigger fridge section below, and the capacity ranges from 230 to 500 plus liters. The best part, all double doors are frost free, so no manual defrosting headaches. Cool air circulates evenly through fans, so your food stays fresh everywhere, not just near the cooling vents. And in 2026, most models come loaded with inverter compressors, convertible modes, stabilizer free operation. You're getting a lot of technology at a very reasonable price. For 3 to 5 people, this is the sweet spot. 20,000 to 50,000 rupees. Then there is the triple door, which is basically a double door but with an extra section in the middle. And that middle zone, it's convertible. You can set it as a fridge, a freezer or something in between, depending on what you need that week. Really handy flexibility. Whirlpool and Samsung have some nice options here. 230 to 350 liters, 25,000 to 45,000 rupees. Now here is where things get premium. Side by side. You have probably seen this. Both doors open from the center. Freezer on the left, fridge on the right. Storage is massive. 550 to 700 plus liters. You get water dispensers, ice dispensers, digital displays, app control that works. But here is something a lot of people don't think about before buying. These freezers are wide, like really wide. You need at least 90 centimeters of kitchen space plus room for the doors to swing open. And here is the catch. Even though the total capacity is huge, each individual compartment is actually narrower than a double door. So that big kadai or those large vessels you use daily, they might not slide in as easily as you would expect. Something to keep in mind. Best for families of 5 or more, or if you do heavy bulk shopping. 40,000 to 1,50,000 rupees. Next, bottom mount. And honestly, I think this one doesn't get the attention it deserves. The fridge sits on the top, right at the eye level, and the freezer is at the bottom as a pull-out drawer. And if you think about it, it makes so much sense. You open the fridge 20 times a day, the freezer maybe once or twice. So why should you bend down every single time for the section you use the most, right? Way more comfortable, way more practical. Especially if you have elderly family members at home. 300 to 500 liters, 25,000 to 40,000 rupees. And finally, French door. This is the full luxury experience. 2 doors on the top of the fridge, pull-out drawers at the bottom for the freezer. Super wide shelves, massive capacity, 500 to 800 plus liters. Every premium feature you can imagine. But the price? 80,000 to well over 2 lakh rupees. It's not for most people, let's be honest. But if you have a big family, a spacious kitchen, and the budget allows, the experience is genuinely something else. So, quick recap. Single door for 1 to 2 people on a budget. Double door for most Indian families. That's the sweet spot. Triple door if you love that extra flexibility. Side by side or French door for larger families with bigger budgets. And seriously, don't overlook bottom mount. It's practical, comfortable and makes daily life just little easier. Alright, next. And this is where so many people go wrong without even knowing it. The capacity. Here is a simple rule that works. 1 to 2 people, 150 to 250 liters. Single door is fine. 3 to 4 people, 250 to 400 liters. Double door. 5 to 6 people, 400 to 600 liters. Large double door or side by side. 6 plus or heavy bulk shoppers, 600 liters and above. But here is a real life thing that no spec sheets tell you. If your family is vegetarian, you'll generally need less freezer space. Non-veg households or families that store lot of frozen food and ice cream, you need a bigger freezer section. Also, if your family shops weekly and stocks up, go slightly bigger. If you buy fresh every 2 to 3 days, you can manage with less. And one more thing. Always think about what you'll need 2 to 3 years from now. A fridge lasts over a decade. Kids grow, families grow. Don't buy for today, buy for tomorrow. So if you are a first time buyer, this might confuse you a little. Direct cool or frost free? Let me make it really simple. Direct cool. Natural air circulation, no fans. Frost builds up inside the freezer, so you defrost it manually every couple of weeks. Uses less electricity, cheaper, but only available in single door fridges, up to 250 liters max. Frost free. Fans push cold air evenly throughout. Automatic defrost. You never touch it. Uses about 10 to 15% more electricity, but cooling is more consistent and maintenance is basically zero. Every double door, triple door, side by side and French door fridge is frost free by default. So really, this choice only matters if you are buying a single door. For 1 to 2 people who want to save money, direct cool works perfectly. For families of 3 or more, go frost free without thinking twice. Now this part. This is what actually decides how much your fridge costs you every month. The compressor and the star rating. Most people completely ignore both while buying and then wonder why the electricity bill is so high. So let me explain both quickly. The compressor. It's basically the engine of your fridge. There are 2 types. Non-inverter compressors run at full fan speed, cool the fridge, switch off completely, wait for the temperature to rise, then blast on again. This constant on-off wastes energy and makes noise. Next, inverter compressors. Inverter compressors are smarter. They adjust speed based on cooling demand, slow down when the fridge is cold, speed up when you open the door or load in warm food. Result? About 20 to 30% lower electricity bills, much quieter and longer compressor life. In 2026, this should be non-negotiable. Don't skip inverter. Now, the BEE star rating. That yellow sticker on every fridge. More stars means less electricity. A 5-star fridge can use up to 40 to 45% less electricity than a 2-star of the same size. Over 10 years, that's thousands of rupees saved. Rough idea, a 3-star 300-liter double door consumes around 300 to 320 units per year. A 5-star, about 190 to 210 units. At rupees 6 to rupees 8 per unit, that's 600 rupees to 900 rupees saved every year. Multiply that by 10 to 12 years, serious money. And one quick thing, BEE revises its benchmarks every few years. A 5-star from 2020 is not the same as 5-star in 2026. Always check the year printed on the BEE label. Next, features. What actually matters versus marketing. Brands throw a lot of fancy terms at you. Let me quickly tell you what's actually useful and what's just noise. Features that genuinely help, like convertible mode, switch the freezer into extra fridge space or vice versa. Super handy during festivals, parties or summer when the freezer sits empty. Most LG, Samsung, Whirlpool double doors have this now. Stabilizer free operation. Handles voltage fluctuations from 100 volts to 300 volts without an external stabilizer. In India, where power fluctuations are common, this really matters. Saves you 1500 to 2500 on a separate stabilizer too. Home inverter compatibility. Many brands like LG and Samsung now offer this. LG calls it Auto Smart Connect, Samsung calls it Smart Connect Inverter. What it does is simple. During a power cut, the fridge automatically switches to your home inverter and keeps running. You don't have to do anything manually. If your area has frequent power cuts, this is a really practical feature to look for. Door alarm. Beeps if you leave the door open. Prevents energy waste and spoiled food. Small feature but big difference. Toughened glass shells. Strong, handles heavy utensils, easy to clean. Features that sounds impressive but aren't essential. Wi-Fi and app control. Be honest, how often will you realistically control your fridge from your phone? Nice to have, but not worth paying a big premium for. Touchscreen displays and cameras. Very expensive, and most people barely use them after the first month. Bottom line, put your budget towards a good inverter compressor, high star rating, convertible mode and stabilizer free operation. Those are the things you'll actually feel every single day. Almost done. But honestly, this section could save you the most headache. So stay with me. Warranty. Almost every brand offers 1 year comprehensive on the full product and 10 years on the compressor. Samsung has gone a step further. They offer 20 years warranty on the digital inverter compressor. This was announced in December 2022 and applies to all their refrigerators with digital inverter compressors purchased from that date onwards. 20 years. That's the longest in the industry right now. LG, Haier, Whirlpool, Godrej all offer 10 years on the compressor. But here is the catch. That 10 years or 20 years warranty is only on the compressor. Everything else, the fan, thermostat, PCB board, gasket is covered for just first year. So if something breaks in year 2 or 3, you are paying from your pocket. Keep that in mind. Which brands are reliable? LG and Samsung have the strongest service network across India, even in smaller towns. Whirlpool is known for solid build quality and mechanical reliability. Haier gives you great value, especially in side-by-side segment. Godrej is dependable for budget to mid-range. Now, common mistakes I see people making all the time. Not measuring kitchen space. You buy the fridge, it comes home and the door can't open fully or it doesn't fit at all. Always measure width, height, depth and door swing clearance before buying. Ignoring the star rating, spending 2 to 3,000 rupees more upfront can save you 7,000 to 9,000 over the fridge lifetime. Buying based on brand name alone. Every brand has great models and average models. Compare specific models, not just logos. Not checking stabilizer free operation. If the fridge isn't stabilizer free and you don't have a separate stabilizer, one voltage spike can damage the compressor. Very expensive lesson. And this last one is really important. Don't just fall for looks or specs on paper. Always check proper real world reviews before buying. See how the fridge actually performs in someone's home, not just what the company claims. And that's actually why ClearBuy exists. We have done detailed reviews on a lot of refrigerators, and not just refrigerators. We buy and test almost every home appliance so that you know the exact truth before spending your money. Do check those out. I'll link the playlist in the description. So that's the complete picture. I genuinely hope this gives you the clarity to pick the perfect fridge without any confusion. You know, when I started ClearBuy, the whole idea was simple. Nobody should waste their hard-earned money on the wrong product. Every rupee matters. And if this video saved you even one of you from a bad purchase, that honestly means everything to me. If this kind of honest content is what you want more of, a subscribe and notifications really keeps ClearBuy growing. I have shared my top recommended refrigerators budget-wise in the description. Do check them out. And if you have any questions or want me to review any specific fridge, drop a comment. I read every single one. Don't just buy. ClearBuy. See you soon.